Hello and welcome back to another video. Now today's Wednesday, so this is Waffle on a Wednesday, where I answer your questions to the best of my ability. And for those of you that are new here, my name's Mel and I live full time in this Mercedes Sprinter camper van, and occasionally I like to go treasure hunting, and today I hope to earn your subscription. So without further ado, let's crack on with this week's Q&A. Now I'd like to start by reading a comment out that was left on last week's video where I painted my side flares. The Adventures of Lano left this comment: "Cracking job there, Mel, thank you. I'm looking to paint my van when it gets a bit warmer. Sadly the blue is fading badly. Tried to machine polish it, but I don't think there's much of a clear coat as the pad turns blue." Well, the Adventures of Lano, it would appear that your van hasn't got any clear coat on it, especially if your pad is turning blue the minute you try and polish it. And it sounds like the sun has actually bleached your paintwork, and if it's got like this white haze over the paintwork, that's exactly what's happened. So don't give up. There's no need to spray your van, just simply keep polishing it. Try using T-Cut. T-Cut's got like an ammonia in there and it gets rid of that white haze a lot easier than it would do if you were just using G3, and it's less abrasive as well. Still use your machine, just make sure you keep that pad nice and moist to stop any heat building up from friction when that pad is spinning over your paintwork. Keep the pad moving, keep it moist, that way you shouldn't damage your paintwork and you will slowly see your paint come back to life. It's just a matter of taking off that thin top layer that the sun has bleached. Good luck, and do let us know how you get on with it. I really hope that does help you. Thank you for taking the time to leave the comment. Now, Ali Davison also took it upon themselves to leave a comment on that video, and they commented on the fact that I put the flares across the table rather than lengthwise. I'll read the comment out. "You should have lent the flares lengthways on the table instead of awkwardly pissing about leaning over while spraying." They also go on to say them flares look like bath panels. Yeah, they do kind of look like bath panels. I agree with you there, but the reason I put the flares, pretend the phone's my table, I put the flares across the table this way and not this way, is because my camera was at this end of the table, and if I put the flares on the table that way, I simply wouldn't have seen anything on my camera, and I couldn't put the camera behind me because of the lighting. So basically I put the flares on the table this way purely so I could make the video, so I could film it for your viewing pleasure. Yes, I did all that pissing about purely to make that video. Also, some people commented on that video saying that I should have been wearing a mask while spraying. Well, I was wearing a mask whilst I was spraying and whilst I was rubbing down that panel. I simply had to remove the mask so that I could talk to the camera. And yes, it was a lot of pissing about making that video. It took me twice as long to paint those flares purely because I was recording it and making the video for your viewing pleasure. Maybe in the future I shan't bother. Or should I? I'll let you decide. Was it really worth me pissing about and making that video? Sometimes I have to ask myself that exact question, especially when I get comments like that. Here's another one left on my diesel heater upgrade video, and I made that video to try and save people from getting diesel spilt out everywhere in their vans. Those diesel heater fuel tanks that come with the Chinese diesel heaters are a potential disaster waiting to happen. As most of you will know, the diesel heater fuel tanks that are supplied with those Chinese diesel heaters are fed from underneath. Well, if that nipple fails, if you get a fuel leak, your diesel heater fuel tank will just leak diesel everywhere inside your van. And that's why I made that video, to try and save people from that disaster. And John in the workshop, as you saw in last week's video, he fell victim to that exact scenario. His diesel heater fuel tank leaked and his entire garage floor was soaked in diesel. So he had to paint it to try and mask the smell. Well, Atkins Paints the World left this comment on that video. "In the summer when it's really hot, won't the expanding diesel force fumes out into the van?" Well, Atkins Paints the World, I can't speak for everyone, but me personally, I don't drive around in the summer with a full tank of diesel in my diesel heater fuel tank. After all, if it's the middle of the summer, I don't need to use my diesel heater, do I? Think about it. I actually run my diesel heater fuel tank right down to its minimum during the springtime, so that in the summer I've got an empty fuel tank. I'm kind of guessing most people do that as well. So now for a more light-hearted comment, and this comes from Reggie Bear. "Hi Mel, great video as always." Thank you, Reggie. "Perfect timing as well, as I'm about to fit one to my Citroen Relay. you always come up trumps. As you're on a roll, can you make next week's video about picking 6 winning lottery numbers? Well, Reggie, I did actually win the lottery once. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link to it up here. And in that video, I reveal what I spent my lottery winnings on. Go check it out. You may find it quite amusing. And good luck with fitting your window. I hope it works out well for you. Now, I had to chuckle at this next comment from DS. Mel, I bought a pee bottle. As you had indicated, it was a great way to go to the toilet at night. The first time I used it, I had a pee all over the sheets. And the second time, it was so cold my willy shrank and I couldn't get it in the opening. Do you have any suggestions? Yes, DS. Try getting out of bed when you use the pee bottle. I'm not going to demonstrate, but I'll give you an idea. If you stand up, it's a much easier way to use your pee bottle. Don't use your pee bottle laying in bed. That way you won't pee all over your sheets. I hope you found my advice helpful. Reminds me, I've got to empty that. Now, talking about pee bottles, Philip Lee's got a great suggestion. Mel, my suggestion for a pee bottle would be a green petrol container. When it's full, just chain it to the back of your van and some kind person will empty it for you. I have no doubt they would. Especially where I come from. Great idea. Don't know if I want to try it though. But if you do try that, do let me know. I wonder if you're setting up a camera like a spy cam on a petrol can full of pee would make a funny video. You guys really do give me some inspiration, thank you. Now, last week I asked everyone whether or not I should do product reviews, if I should accept every product that gets sent to me and do a weekly NAF product of the week type video. Got a very mixed response from that. It was around about 50-50. 50% said no, don't do it, your channel's going to be turning into like a QVC channel, and the other 50% of you said yeah, take everything, take what you can, give it away, do a raffle and give the money to charity. I would love to do that, but I think running a raffle on YouTube is against YouTube policy, I do believe, or so I've been told. So I've decided I'm not going to accept all those products. I've knocked that idea on the head. Anyway, I've got to read this comment out because it's funny as. If I can unlock my phone. How do I get the image of Mel doing a review of a paddleboard wearing a mankini out of my head, making me feel sick? And at no point or no time did I ever mention that I was going to do a paddleboard review wearing a mankini. So I don't know where you got that image from. Although saying that, it's not a bad idea. Stay tuned. You never know your luck. Helen and Jeff on the road. Hashtag waffle on a Wednesday. Hi Mel, may I ask what major problems have you had with your van that has stopped you from driving said van? There's a list this long of the problems I've had with this Mercedes Sprinter. Thankfully they're all sorted out now. I've made loads of videos about the problems I've had with Mary. Maybe I should do like a compilation video or just a video dedicated to all the problems I've had with this Mercedes Sprinter. In fact, if I was to add up all the parts that I brought for this van, I've probably over the last 3 years brought a brand new van. Anyway, fingers crossed, Mary's running perfectly fine now. But do let me know if you'd like me to make a video dedicated to all the problems and all the solutions I've had fixing Mary. Might make an interesting video. Maybe it won't. Let me know. Okay, so now the time you've all been waiting for, and that's this week's Troll of the Week.
Troll of the Week.
Hashtag waffle on a Wednesday. Thank you for using hashtag waffle on a Wednesday because it does make it easier for me to find your questions. So for that reason, I'm not going to call you a proper troll. Alright, I'm just going to call you a friend of trolls. And this is Indigo Pop. Hi Mel, I did enjoy watching your channel, but I find your Troll of the Week a form of bullying, especially when you invite people to comment and then you decide to ridicule them. Perhaps you should be the bigger person and ignore the comments you don't like rather than singling people out so they receive hate mail. Well, Indigo Pop, surely when somebody leaves a comment on my video, or any YouTuber's video for that matter, that comment is then put into the public domain. Anybody with access to YouTube can read that comment. Therefore, me reading out that comment is just highlighting the comment. It's still in the public domain. So if you leave a comment on my channel and I find it offensive, I think I've got every right to read that comment out and defend myself. So if people leaving trolling comments are worried about getting hate mail, which I very much doubt they do, then the simple answer is don't be nasty and leave trolling comments on YouTube videos. Because believe it or not, it does affect us YouTubers. And I'm sure everybody that makes YouTube videos will agree with me when I say it really does affect you. I mean, you can get 20 positive comments and one really nasty negative comment, and that will ruin your day. That will bring you down, and it's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your attitude. It's not good for your creativity either. Negative comments really do have a negative effect on YouTubers. And that's why I came up with Troll of the Week, because I wanted a platform where I could actually defend myself, and it's a way for me to offload that negativity and turn that negativity into something positive and fun. And I do make fun of the trolls on my channel, and by doing that it neutralises that negativity. Now, to my surprise, having a weekly feature like Troll of the Week has actually deterred trolls from leaving trolling comments on my videos. I get less trolling comments now than I ever used to. So me defending myself is actually working. And I urge any YouTuber out there to do exactly the same. If you get trolling comments on your channel, then turn it around, read those comments out, put it back out there, defend yourself. Don't bottle all that negativity up. Turn it around into something fun and enjoyable, rather than letting it bring you down, because it does bring people down. There is nothing wrong with someone defending themselves, and that's exactly what I'm doing. But saying that, Indigo Pop, I'd like to say thank you to you for leaving that comment, because it gives me the opportunity to bring that subject up. You see how that works? So now we've cleared that up, let's have a proper Troll of the Week. Roll that intro again.
Troll of the Week.
Now, this comment was left on a video that I made after my catalytic converter was almost stolen from underneath my van whilst I was actually sleeping in it. And this comment was left by C-Jam. You've done nothing to protect from theft that would actually work. I'm sorry, truth. Cables are a quick cut. They serve zero protection from theft. Well, C-Jam, that cable underneath my van that is wrapped around my catalytic converter would take some serious cutting and tugging. And I'm pretty sure that because I sleep in my van every night, that if anyone tries to steal my catalytic converter from underneath my van, that would give me plenty of time to get out of bed, put on my jocks, jump out of my van, and let's just say deal with such a criminal in a legal manner. Now, just in case you haven't seen the video that I made when my catalytic converter was almost stolen, I'll leave a link to that video up here purely for your viewing pleasure. Now, hopefully you found this video mildly entertaining and slightly informative, and if you did, then please do give us a thumbs up, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Ta-ra for now.